makers, Lisa here from Andrie Designs. I just thought I'd pop a quick tutorial together to introduce you to one of my favourite hardware suppliers here in Australia, Betty Box Pleat. So the lovely Kylie at Betty Box Pleat has all sorts of shiny bling bling things for you to make your bag. She also does some foam and fleece and interfacings and stabilisers as well. And what I really love about her store is that she sells a hardware kit for every single one of my patterns that has hardware, obviously. So you can get a kit, you can pop onto her website, which is just www.bettybp.com.au, and you can order hardware kits for any size, any style of any of my patterns that you're making, and it comes already and packaged up, and it even comes labeled so that you know exactly what that kit is for. You can choose what finish you want, so she has rose gold for some of the kits. Otherwise, it's pretty standard. She has the silver or the nickel for all of them and antique brass for most of them as well. And you can also get the yellow gold in some of them as well, which is just gorgeous. It's such a beautiful color in that yellow gold. So I just wanted to show you some of her hardware kits and what sort of things you can expect when you shop with her. So let's have a quick look into these kits. So although all Kylie's hardware kits come in your silver or nickel finish and most come in antique brass as well, I just can't help but love the rose gold and yellow gold kits that she started adding in as well. The colours on these hardware finishes is just beautiful. She hand picks and hand chooses the colour finish. She puts a lot of thought and time into exactly what shade they're going to look like, and honestly they are just gorgeous, and so much so that you almost wouldn't want to use them on your bag. So I just thought we'd have a quick look at some of the kits that come in the rose gold and the yellow gold. As you can see here, this is for the mini shades pouch as well as nickel and antique brass. It does also come in the rose gold and the yellow gold. So let's have a quick look at the yellow gold kit for the mini shades pouch. So you can see it's all packaged individually. The reason for this is no hardware can touch any other. It can't get scratched itself or scratch any other hardware. So you know that when your hardware arrives, it is in perfect condition, ready to be used. So this is the 2 D-rings you get, and the weight of this hardware is just amazing. Like, it's quality. You can feel in the weight of it that it's quality right there. Look at that color yellow. It's just so gorgeous. Like, you can almost think it's proper actual gold jewelry. It's just beautiful. So you get 2 D-rings in that there. In a separate packet, we have 2 swivel hooks and a slider, a strap adjuster, which is for the adjustable strap. And again, the weight of these is just beautiful. They swivel really easily and have a really good spring in there, which is going to stay shut and secure when in use. So that's your 3 there. And also the mini shades pouch has a magnetic snap, and of course you can't use a nickel snap for gold hardware. So Kylie's gone ahead and organised gold, yellow gold snaps, which is just beautiful. It matches perfectly. They're all the same shade. It's a beautiful rich gold. It's certainly not dull or dirty looking. It's a nice vibrant colour, and it's just beautiful. Like I said earlier, you almost wouldn't want to use the bag for fear of scratching up your beautiful hardware. So that's an example of the yellow gold that she sells. So I'll just move that to the side for a moment. I want to show you the rose gold as well. So this is a classic carry-all kit, and this, as you can see, comes in the rose gold and the yellow gold as well as the nickel and antique brass. Pull all these bits out. So again, everything is packaged individually, so nothing is going to scratch anything else. She has the D-rings. I'll just grab these out. Oops, stuck. There we go. So again, the weight of these is just wonderful. Like, you can just feel the quality when you're holding them. It's just lovely. And that rose gold color is so beautiful. I'm really loving rose gold at the moment. Like, it's a bit of an obsession, really. So this color is just right up my alley. So those are the D-rings, and you get 4 of those in the kit. And you also have 4 swivel hooks. I'll just grab these 2 out. And again, they swivel nice and easily. There's a great secure spring in there, and that finish is just beautiful. Like, it just pairs up with the D-rings so perfectly. And the classic carryall also comes with bag feet. Now these, of course, had to be rose gold as well for this kit, and there's also a yellow gold kit. And look at those, how cute are they? How gorgeous. So you almost actually wouldn't want to use the bag, and you wouldn't want to put those down on the ground because they'd get scratched. But they're just so beautiful. So they match up with the rest of the hardware just perfectly. And again, I don't know how you would use a bag once you've put such beautiful hardware on it, because you wouldn't want them to get scratched. Though I suppose that defeats the purpose of making the bag, but anyway. So that's an example of both the yellow gold and the rose gold that Kylie at Betty Box Pleat sells for some of the hardware kits. It is absolutely gorgeous, and if you haven't given these colours a go yet, I really recommend you try them. They look beautiful with classic blacks, silvers. They also look good with different zippers, like if she also does some zippers with yellow gold or rose gold teeth. So you can coordinate that really nicely and really get a really sharp finish and a very professional looking result to your handmade bag. As well as the nickels and the golds, another popular and very commonly used shade is the antique brass. So as I said, Kylie has this shade in finish for most of the hardware kits. So let's just have a quick look, because again, this is just such a great finish. Oh, I can't even get into it. There we go. Oh, this one's very secure and does not want to be opened. So this is for the shades of Yesterday tote bag, and as you can see, it's not a huge hardware kit, which is quite nice. It simply has some rectangular rings, a slider, and some rivets for a little bit of an extra feature on the bag. So you can see here the finish of these antique brass rectangular rings and the slider is just lovely. It's so textured. Again, you can feel the weight of them. They're nice and heavy. You can feel they're really good quality. They've got a nice shine to them, which is quite great. They're not dull looking. They are still shiny, but they've still got that antique brass, old school looking finish on them. And you know, the color varies as it works around the different sides of the hardware. So that is just lovely. I really like that. And again, with this one, you get rivets, and of course you can't use silver rivets with antique brass hardware. So she has antique brass rivets, and these are teeny tiny, but oh, it's jumping all over the place. You can see it's just a really beautiful texture. It's still got shine to it, so it's still going to look bling, but it's a really nice antique brass texture. And next to the rest of the hardware, they just look absolutely lovely. I'll get one that doesn't have a stem in it. There. So they just coordinate beautifully and really just add that extra little bit of wow to any bag that you use antique brass hardware on. So that was for the Shades of Yesterday tote bag. That's another beautiful kit that she does. And another example of antique brass is in the classic clutch. So she does this in both sizes, and this has got, it's going to be hard to get into again. She likes to make these tricky. There we go. So this has got D-rings in it, it's got a swivel hook, and again it's got some gorgeous rivets. Rivets just are so much fun to use. So here we've got two beautiful D-rings. So these are nice larger ones. They've again got the really good weight to them, but still have that beautiful finish, the shine, the bling factor, and that textured antique brass look. And then of course a coordinating swivel hook, the great spring in there. It turns really easily, so it's going to be really easy to use. And the finish just coordinates perfectly. And just like for the Shades of Yesterday, it has little rivets as well, which just really finish off a bag. They just look so beautiful when you pair them together. So there's some examples of some antique brass hardware. You can hear and feel the quality of it. It is just fantastic. It is very firmly finished in the join, which gets covered with fabric, so you know you can rely on the hardware. Finally, in the hardware colours, of course, we come to the good old trusty nickel or silver finish. This is my absolute go-to if I'm having trouble matching any of the other colours to a particular fabric or a particular design. Silver or the nickel is just the easiest, most reliable. You know it's going to coordinate and you know it's going to look great. So I have two kits here for an example. This is the Roll With It tote, and this is quite exciting because Kylie has these custom O-rings which are just gorgeous. So I'll just pull this out. So the kit comes with your cotton cording as per the pattern instructions. It's the exact right size, and she sends exactly the amount you need, possibly a little bit extra, so you've got enough to do your piping, because Roll With It has piping. And it also has O-rings, which is just, these are so fun and just give such a different look to the rectangular rings when attaching your handles or straps. Uh-oh, get them out. There we go, I'll just get one out. So these come very well packaged, so you know that they're not scratched. They are in perfect condition when you receive them. So much so that it's hard to get them out of the packaging. What has she done to me? Ooh, I'm gonna have to break it. Where is the end? There's the end, okay. So this is one of the O-rings you get. Look at that shine. It's just ridiculous. You almost need to wear sunglasses to look at it. It's just beautiful. Again, it's got that lovely, firm, solid weight to it. It's a nice thickness in both width and depth, and it's just so shiny. I often find when I'm using nickel hardware that as I'm working with it, I will continually clean it because I just love the shine, and as soon as you touch it, you can get fingerprints and smear marks and stuff, and you know, you want it to stay shiny, and it's just beautiful. So that's one of the O-rings that you can get from Kylie. She also does the larger size as well for this kit, and there are a couple of other patterns that have O-ring kits as well. So that's for the roll with it tote. And then another example of the classic carry-all kit. I just wanted to show you the nickel or silver version of this hardware, if I can get into it. Again, as always, everything is individually packaged, so it's all safe and protected from each other. So here we have the D-rings. I think half the challenge of getting hardware in the mail is to get into the packaging. Open, open, open. So there was two, as you might have seen that, two here. So they were separately packaged to the other two. And again, the weight is just beautiful. You can hear that they're really solid, and that shine is just gorgeous. You just almost use it as a mirror. It's just so beautiful. Goes with anything, it's fantastic. Let's have a look at the swivel hooks as well. So here's two of the swivels, and again, they turn really easily. They've got a really good spring in them, and they just feel lovely. And you pair those with the D-rings. I love that sound. I love the bling bling look, and I love the bling bling sound as well. And then of course it comes with bag feet in a nice silver finish. You wouldn't want to put it on the ground, to be honest. I mean, look how nice those look. So those next to the rest of your hardware, everyone's going to stop and go, wow, where did you get your bag from? So that's just another example of the silver for the classic carry-all handbag and tote pattern. The silver is my go-to. As I said before, it is just so shiny, so bling, and it just coordinates perfectly with any color. It's the go-to, the last resort. If you can't match any of the other colors of hardware with your fabric, silver is your best bet, and it just looks wonderful each and every time you use it. When it comes to stabilizers, fleece foam, all that sort of thing for the guts of the bag, what's going to give the bag its shape and things, Kylie has everything you need. So you'll notice for my patterns, I typically have three standards. I have my medium to light to medium interfacing, which I recommend your SF101 or equivalent. I recommend a fleece or a foam, which usually is the Vilene H640 fleece or the By Annie Soft and Stable. And then I also, sometimes depending on the pattern, will recommend a 71F fusible stabilizer to give that extra reinforcement, particularly behind hardware. Those are my three go-tos. Those are the ones I use in all my patterns. Those are the ones I use in all my bags when I make the bags. And that's really, it keeps it nice and simple. And if you learn how to apply and which one works best with what, it's so straightforward to get a really good finish on your bag. So from Kylie, you can grab Soft and Stable. It comes in 25 centimeter cuts by the width of the foam. Comes with instructions on what it is, how to use it, for more information. And really, this is quite a bit of foam when you're making a small tote or even a clutch or something. And as you can see, it's obviously clean, it's straight off the roll, and it's ready to go. I love the By Annie Soft and Stable, and this is the sew-in, which is what I prefer. I don't really enjoy using the fusible, so I always recommend the sew-in foam for my bags and my patterns. From there, you can also grab yourself some interfacing. So if you are after a woven interfacing, which is what I always recommend, I find it gives a better finish, it looks more natural, and it still allows the fabric it's fused to move. So Kylie stocks the SF101, which we all know, most of us are all familiar with. It's a beautiful lightweight interfacing, but just helps give your fabric that extra bit of reliability and durability, especially if you're using thinner fabrics such as quilting cotton, which typically aren't designed to be used for handbags. Comes with instructions on what it is and how to use it, and also your widths and iron settings, how to apply it, how long to hold it and press it for. So that's fantastic, especially if you're starting out. You get the product and the instructions on how to use it. An alternative to the SF101 is Craft Fuse. This is a non-woven, so it's more a man-made, so to speak, interfacing. It gives a different finish, but again, it's still really great for the interfacing of lighter fabrics such as quilting cotton. It's got a fusible side and it's really easy to attach. And again, you get instructions on how to apply it, how to use it, and it's just such a great alternative to SF101 if you're looking for something that's going to give a slightly different finish, but still give a good bit of stability to the back of your fabric. Finally, Kylie also has your 71F. So this is your stabilizer. This is what I always recommend behind hardware such as magnetic snaps or bag feet. It's quite a stiff interfacing stabilizer. It's fusible on one side, the bumpy side, and it's great. It just gives that little bit of reinforcement to those areas like where a snap is attached, that's going to get a bit of use and a bit of pull and tug throughout the duration of the bag or the lifespan of the bag. As always, it comes with instructions on how to use it so that you really can't go wrong with it. And it's just, I mean, this small amount, which is, I'm gonna eyeball it a 25 centimeter cut-ish. This small amount will last you quite a long time. So it's well worth having a little bit of this in your interfacing arsenal. Just store it away. You just will be surprised how often you'll need it, but how little of it you will need at a time. So those are just some of the interfacings and foam that Kylie stocks. As you can see, they all come with instructions on how to use them. You really can't go wrong. And of course, if you have any questions or do get stuck using some of these products, you can just pop Kylie a message through her website and she will help you out and give you the support that you need. She is so attentive and so wonderful at looking after her customers. So you can always contact her if you need that extra help with your products. And that's it. That's all I have for you today. If you have any questions whatsoever, feel free to contact Kylie through the contact page of her website, which is www.bettybp.com.au. I'll pop a link to that in the description below as well. For now, I'm off to play with gorgeous hardware and ponder my next bag. So until next time, happy sewing!